it's time for the second race here at Cadwell Park for the HSCC Historic Formula 4 Championship. Front row, Sam Mitchell and Ben Sims. This is the result of race 1 to Sam Mitchell. Returned the championship, won yesterday. So he's on pole alongside Ben Sims. Second row, James Buckton and Robert Wainwright. Then Perty Kaveri and Brian Morris on row 3. Alistair Littlewood and Roland Svensson. Row 4, James Hadfield and Alex Meek on the fifth row of the grid. Looking a bit further back, Max Bartell and Michael O'Brien right near the back after they had problems yesterday. Watch out for them, they'll be coming through on this tight circuit. But we're going to ride on board for the start of the race with Sam Mitchell. The red lights here at Cadwell Park go out for the second time this weekend for Formula 4, and Mitchell slides off the line. Going to the right hand side of the circuit. There's not much room there, but Ben Sims takes it after a great start, and Sims on the outside line heading into Coppice, because they are absolutely side by side. And it's Sims though has the inside line for Charlie's, and he takes the lead. And Jomo leads then for the first time this weekend. Remember, Sims started 7th yesterday, so he was working his way through the order. He leads now. Michael O'Brien trying to find his way through the field, slicing up on the inside of Julian Pearcer. Go for the right hander at the second part of Charlie's. They're now heading down the park straight, following Max Bartell. They're side by side in front of Bartell because his track is so tight. He can't find a way through, but now he goes ahead of Wrigley, and he also passes the 14 car. Michael Wrigley. So Matthew Wrigley was the first one they got past, and now Michael Wrigley as well. Through the gooseneck for the leaders, and Sims leads. Sims is on the grass out of the gooseneck. Gabby's it all back up, still leads away, didn't really lose any time. They turn through Mansfield then. Mitchell working at the wheel through the corner there. Now heading down towards the mountain. Back towards where the start line is, but we're going to turn left at the mountain. Mountain chicane we go then. Sideways to Mitchell. Mitchell on the grass. He's heading towards the barriers over the top of the hill there. He rejoins the circuit though, but loses 3 positions. Sam Mitchell chucking it away there. And he rejoins the circuit, continues on his way. And Michael O'Brien heading past the scene of the incident there, but many cars between him and Mitchell, heading down towards the hairpin. O'Brien passes Bartell, and he also goes ahead of the Titan of Nick Pancini from the older Titans, a Mark 5 car. Heading now onto the start and finish line to complete the first lap of the 20-minute race here at Cadwell Park. It's Ben Sims that leads the way. Bartell as well, but Michael O'Brien, plenty of passes he needs to do race. It's Andrew Wiggins who he squeezes up on the inside of Charlie's, and Wiggins cuts the nose off of O'Brien. So actually what happened there was O'Brien lost time trying to squeeze up on the inside of Wiggins, who's actually trying to challenge the car in front of him, which is Roger Arnold. And he plays side through Chris Kerr with Arnold. O'Brien trying to work out where he can go past. But outside through gooseneck, there's room there, and he goes right round Wiggins through the first part of the gooseneck, quick right left down the hill. Roger Arnold now is going to come under threat through Mansfield, possibly. No, O'Brien can't quite do it there. About the mountain, the bottom of the mountain, the left-handed part. He's going to look on the inside, just he does. He gets Arnold there. There's yellows. He gets him just before the yellows. I think that's James Buckton off the road. Yes, it is. James Buckton was second position. He went really well yesterday, and it was going well up till then. James Buckton off then, out of a podium position. He's lost a lot more positions than what Sam Mitchell did last lap. Andrew Mansell now under threat from Michael O'Brien, and O'Brien goes through past Mansell. O'Brien starting to like that place as an overtaking opportunity through the hairpin. It's not really considered as the most overtaking place here at Cadwell Park, but Michael O'Brien making it work well. So he's gained, I think, 3 positions on this lap. Alex Meek is the next car. Round the outside of Coppice, gives him the inside for Charlie's, and he goes through. James Lovett, I think, is the next car. He gets him the second part of Charlie's. O'Brien now quickly making his way through the traffic. The next car is Chris Sharples, and there's a big gap. So once O'Brien has done this, he'll have a bit of clear space. I think it's 9th position which Sharples occupies at the moment. So already inside the top 10 is O'Brien. Where's he going to make it work then? Inside line, heading out of Chris Curve into the gooseneck. Well, no, more through Chris Curve, wasn't it? Going down before the gooseneck. We've had a change further up. This is a replay. Sam Mitchell inside into Coppice. Goes fourth. That'll be third though, won't it? Because of fraction off the road. So third is Sam Mitchell. On board of Alex Mick, who's got round the outside. Goes Max Bartel through the first part of the mountain. So Bartel still working his way through, not quite as quickly as what Michael O'Brien did. And this is where O'Brien likes to take a move. And actually it's Alex Mick coming back at Bartel. Can't do anything there. So that does show you how impressive what Michael O'Brien was doing for that corner. Having braving it down around the outside now to all bends. Bartel gains a position. He goes ahead of James Lovett into Coppice, and I think he's going to get Chris Sharples into Charlie's. He does, so 2 positions relatively quickly gained for Max Bartel, so he can now settle down to the circuit. Me coming round Lovett towards Park Corner. Love it on the inside line. He should hold on to the position. He does. Chris Curve now. Right hander that just keeps them going. And into the gooseneck. And down the hill. The Mansfield. Tricky on the brakes. Through there, going downhill. Worse when it's wet. Nice weekend here at Cadwell Park, so no worries about any wet weather. And then into the mountain, so Sharples, Lovett and Meek over the top of the hill. Lovett having to defend a bit there because Meek had a good run up and over the hill, but Paul Ben's really not a place you can make a pass. And the corner marker goes flying there. Not particularly unusual. But it's not a place you can really to move on. And that's me coming up to complete another lap. On board is Sam Mitchell, and he's caught the top 2 already. He's flying, is Mitchell. So it's Ben Sims that leads. Robert Wainwright right on the rear gearbox of Sims. And Sam Mitchell's not going to waste any time. He's already coming up alongside Robert Wainwright along the park, straight towards Park Corner. He's got a good run. He's coming up alongside Ben Sims as well. Can he get both cars here? He brakes later than Sims. He's around the outside. We've going a bit too much speed. Runs out over the grass. Sims gets the lead back, and Wainwright keeps second as well. So in the end of that, Mitchell didn't gain any positions, but the pace he has caught these top 2. Wow, quite astonishing. Last lap he was over a second quicker than Ben Sims. He was 2.5 seconds behind on the completion of lap 3, and he was right with him on the completion of lap 4. So Mitchell really going quick. How long will it take him though to actually successfully pass these 2 leaders, because it's not like the usual circuit, Cadwell Park. It is very, very difficult to pass. A big slide out of the mountain there for Mitchell has allowed the top 2 just to break away slightly. Through Hall Bend, how much speed does Mitchell carry through here? Oh, he's over the grass again. Over the grass out of Hall Bend. He gathers it up though. Not actually particularly on the grass, but not really time lost there. So out of Barn Corner and then complete the 5th lap, I think. It's lap 5 being complete. So Ben Sims leads. 31 Wainwright 2nd. 1 Mitchell 3rd. 4th is 38 Cleary. 5th is 10 Hadfield. 6th is Michael O'Brien. O'Brien from the back up to 6th in 5 laps. Great effort from Michael O'Brien. He'd actually got that position on the completion of lap 4. That's about 20 cars past. Right up towards Park Corner we go once again, and Wainwright now putting the challenge on. He's coming round the outside of Ben Sims. Ben Sims having to defend hard, but Wainwright doing that, trying to come up the cutback as Sims slides out wide over the curb in there, but no worries, he carries the lead, carried the speed out of the corner. A bit further down the road we go on board of Alex Meek, who's challenging James Lovett. There's Chris Sharples. There we go. Oh, James Buck to the recovery. He's going way too fast into Park Corner. He loses it. It's over the grass. He's taking Sharples with him. And now Love it, under threat from Meek. He's going to go over the curb in there. Not quite wide enough for 2 cars. He backs out of it, but my goodness. You'll see it here. James Buck on the grass backwards, arriving towards Park Corner. Right, back to the leaders, back on board with Sam Mitchell, who's back in the slipstream of Robert Wainwright. Can't do the outside there. Wainwright trying to challenge Sims himself, and I think Mitchell realised that, so he thought to get out of it, don't want any contact. So through Chris Curve. Continuing to lead, and it's Ben Sims. Great defensive drivers. It's Cadwell Park, though, you were saying, been of an easier place to defend than places like Snetterton and Silverstone, where we've been recently. Truxton, of course, as well. A big slipstreaming circuit where we saw plenty of passes throughout the weekend. Yellow flags over the top of the mountain. Now, what's happened here? It's an early yellow, because yellow's in double bend as well, so we get a bit drastic. Yes, there's a car right on the apex of the corner. A good job by all 3 drivers to realise what was happening there. Marshall's doing a good job as ever, getting the yellows out nice and early to warn the drivers, because well, that could be quite nasty, couldn't it? The car right in the apex. Now, if that car doesn't move, we're going to have to get a red flag. There's no way. Now Mitchell signalling to the pit wall. I think the car sliding about is what he was saying there. Dad Westy on the wall, because he was out for the last couple of rounds. Lost out at Snetterton by 1/1000 of a second to Ben Sims. Closest finish that you're going to see, really. Anyway, back to this race, because the top 3 still line astern, heading up towards Park Corner. Wainwright again goes to the outside of Sims. It's going to be very difficult for Mitch to find a play through, because that's the best passing opportunity. The top 2 are usually side by side into there. Really, you have to think very methodically at where to find a way past at Cadwell, not like anywhere else. And diving now on the inside, Mitchell, great move into Mansfield, who goes ahead of Wainwright. It's cleanly done. Good move there to take 2nd position. On board with James Lovett. This is where he always got wiped out by James Buckton. And he gets past this time. Alex Nix, and Meek gains a position. That was nicely done. Clean move. Park Corner. Already starting to break away. Alex Meek on a bit of a charge here. Back over inside the top 10 for those 2. Back on board the leaders, back on board of Wesley Mitchell. It's Ben Sims that still leads. Leads another lap. Here comes Mitchell, a great slipstream up across the line. He's got the inside line for Coppice. He takes the lead then into Coppice Corner. Good move from Wesley Mitchell. Ben Sims down to 2nd then. What can Ben Sims do? He's going to have to put a challenge on, because we know Sam Mitchell has had a lot of pace this weekend. So, up towards Park Corner then, Mitchell defends. He knows this is the place where Sims could find a way back through. He was half alongside Mitchell, but with Mitchell on the inside line, there was no way through for Sims. He was using that slipstream to carry so much more speed around the circuit. So now with Sims behind Mitchell, I wouldn't be surprised at all if he'd be able to go with it. So, see how this goes. Back with him now. Here's Sims. He never really fell away, did he? Into the mountain then, the left-right. A very impressive return to the series for Sam Mitchell. Oh, he's on the grass over the mountain though. Not sure if the car quite where he wants it to be in this one. Sliding around perhaps a bit more than what he'd like. Oh yes, look at that. Complete opposite lock through the hairpin there. And now heading into that section is Michael O'Brien. And he's flying as well. He's closed in this battle for 4th. It's Kaviri ahead of Hadfield. And then O'Brien here in 6th. Through Barn Corner then. Complete another lap as well. Lap 9 we complete. First lap to Sam Mitchell has led the way. Only a few minutes left now of this race. So let's see if Michael O'Brien can get himself up to 4th by the end. And look at Hadfield charging to the inside to go ahead of Kaviri through the second part of Charlie's. And you have to be careful there because you get slipstreamed up the straight. But Hadfield positioned his car so Kaviri couldn't get on the power as early as him. Now the slipstream's working for Kaviri and he's coming back at Hadfield. So even though he did lose out at the beginning of the straight, by the end of the straight you could slipstream past. So back into 4th goes Kaviri. Hadfield having to watch his mirrors because Michael O'Brien trying to draw up alongside him. Couldn't do anything though. Head down to Gooseneck now. And Hadfield late on the brakes there. Gets right underneath Kaviri. Oh, big sideways moment. But can he get himself up alongside? Headed down towards Mansfield. No, he can't. That's a bit too sideways on the exit of Gooseneck. So we head now back towards the paddock part of the circuit. Paul Benz first of all. They head over the mountain, the paddock on the left-hand side of the circuit. Oh, and Kaviri off the road. He's on the grass over the top of the mountain. That's allowed Hadfield through into Hall Bend. So Hadfield up to 4th, down to 5th for Kaviri. O'Brien in 6th. I think he hit the curb. There we just put the camera slightly out of position. His favourite place to pass. He strikes again into the hairpin. He goes up to 5th place and he passes Perty Kaviri. So into the top 5 from the back of the grid is Michael O'Brien. Across the line then, a bit defensive heading into Coppice corner. Of course Kaviri looking for that slipstream into the left hander at Coppice. They go then, O'Brien brought himself back to the racing line for the corner. Now, where's he going to line up James Hadfield? He'll do it sideways. Look the exit of Charlie's there. Go up the hill. Good slipstream from O'Brien. He draws up now alongside James Hadfield and he's got the move done up to 4th place then for O'Brien. He won't get any further than that with the top 3 a long way further up the road. Final lap of the race for Sam Mitchell then. He turns to the left-hander at Mansfield with a couple of cars to lap. Ben Sims is only about a second behind, so he's going to have to get this done smoothly. Firstly then, he laps Cliff Gray down towards the mountain. I think Sharples is the other car. Does Sharples sink into passing position because he defends over the mountain, which pushes Sam Mitchell onto the grass? But he's back on the circuit, now being held up through Hall Bend. Of course, Sharples a lot further back than what he should. Oh, Mitchell locks up there. A lot further back than he should be is Sharples after both being wiped out by James Buckton. But Sam Mitchell's got past them both smoothly now. He's coming up to take the 2nd race win of the weekend. He knows he's been in a motor race there. It's a big victory for Sam Mitchell then. Double victory for Mitchell. We'll be back at Brands Hatch in a few weeks' time, and where Ben Sims will be looking to take the win away victories back, but still, that's Ben Sims' equal worst result of the year. 2nd position, not bad at all. Robert Wainwright finished in 3rd, ahead of Michael O'Brien, who was 4th. James Hadfield, Percy Kaviri, Max Bartel, Roland Svensson, Alex Meek, and James Lovett completed the top 10. So as I say, we're off to Brands Hatch in 3 weeks' time for HSC Super E. That's on the 13th of July. Join us then.